moderator here. I said, now you count how many folk up there singing from the mat. Amen. You got to pay me later. We want this choir to grow.
Amen. Amen.
Amen. That's just a taste. Amen. We want it to grow. We arrive on Destination Parkway in Orlando, at the Hilton Orlando, that when we leave there, they'll know there is a United.
Yeah, man. Yeah.
So you all be a part of that historical gathering as well. Psalms 42 verse 1, as the hart panteth after the water brooks, so panteth my soul after thee, O God. 2, my soul thirsteth for God, for the living God. When shall I come and appear before God? 3, my tears have been my meat day and night, while they continually say unto me, where is thy God? 4, when I remember these things, I pour out my soul in me, for I had gone with the multitude. I had went with them to the house of God with the voice of joy and praise, with the multitude that kept holy day. And 5, why art thou cast down, O my soul? And why art thou disquieted in me? Hope thou in God, for I shall yet praise him for the help of his countenance. You may have your seats in the presence of the Lord. From that third verse, it shall be the center of our discourse this evening. Verse number 3 says, my tears have been my meat.
All right.
My tears have been my meat, day and night.
Wow.
While they continually say unto me, where is thy God? Just for a brief moment this evening, we want to speak on the subject, where in this world is our God?
All right.
Where in this world is our God? This is, I hope, a feel-good sermon. I didn't come to be doctrinal, pastoral. I just come to holler.
Holler at us, baby. Holler at us.
Have a good time. Is that all right with you? Amen, somebody. Yeah. The first declaration of the Bible is a declaration of the eternal being of God. The first revelation of the Bible is the divine revelation of the eternal existence of God. The first person mentioned in the Bible is God. The first name that appears in the Bible is Jehovah God. The first voice that was ever heard, the voice that broke the scepter of silence of the universe, of absolute stillness, was the voice of God. The first ray of light that was ever shed forth to shatter the sable walls of universal night and dispel the darkness of the prison of chaos was the light that emanated from the holy countenance of God. The first and only feet to tread the empty space of the abyss of nothingness and bring something therefrom were the feet of God. The first acts recorded in the Bible are the creative acts of God. The first and only hands to design and fashion this world and all other worlds, plus all that they contain, are the hands of God. The first and only pronouncement of God's ingenious creative acts were good and very good, were made by God. The first sunrise to break the dawn of day was ordered by God. The first song of praise that was sung by the heavenly angelic choir was sung to the glory and honor of God. The first sparrow to go chirp, chirp, while all her other feathered rivals listened, got her voice from God. The first man on earth was created and fashioned in the image and likeness of God. And then Man's first knowledge was the knowledge of God. Man's first knowledge concerning himself and who he is and what he is was told to him by God. Man's first knowledge of the worlds and things about him above and below him was imparted to him by God. Man's first glimpse was a glimpse of God. Man's first consciousness was the consciousness of God. Man's first partner was God. Man's first step was in step with God. Man's first stroll was a stroll in the garden called Eden with God. Man's first words were taught to him by God. Man's first conversation was held with God. Thank you for helping me with that. Man's first delight was a delight in fellowship with God. Man's first desire for companionship was a desire for companionship with God. Man's first truth was the truth of God. Man's first law was the law of God. Man's first interest was an interest in God. Man's first counsel was the counsel of God. Man's first pleasure was the pleasure of having comradeship with God.
I hear you.
Man's first joy was joy in God.
Yeah, man.
Man's first upward glance was into the eyes of God. The first smile that man beheld was a smile beaming from the face of God. The first beauty that man beheld was the beauty of the holy countenance of God. The first act of kindness shown to man was shown to him by God. Man's first privilege was granted to him by God. Man's first task was assigned to him by God. Man's very existence is in God. All that man knows, he knows because he's intellectually endowed by God. All that man has was given to him by God. So dear hearts, we see that it all is about God. Because all that man has accomplished has been accomplished according to the will of God. It's in God that man lives, man moves, and man has his being. Yet with all that God is to man, and with all that God does for man, man's conscience is seared or dry as a bone, and his mind is so darkened until his mind belches forth the foolish question, where is God?
Yeah, man. Yeah.
Although there are daily manifestations of God's being and power in the earth, in the sky, in the sea, man still has the unmitigated gall and the nerve to ask the question, where is God? We live, my brothers and my sisters, in a day of distrust, even of the eternal being and the eternal existence of God. We live in a time of the shaking of the very foundation of all that is worthwhile. Number 45 is assuring that the foundation is literally shaken. We live in a day when some men believe that something has happened to God. Because we live in a computer-driven age. We live in this age of scientific know-how. We live in this age of unequal educational advantages. We live in this age we call modern. Some believe that we have gotten so modern that we've outgrown God. They believe that the God of our fathers has gone out of business. They hold that materialism is the little God of this world. No longer is our generation possessed with the optimism and faith as we were our forefathers in years past. They tell us, like myself, an old timer, that the God we talk about, the God to whom we pray, the God whose praises we sing, the God whom we trust, the God we worship is not around anymore. And if he is, or if he ever was around, he just politely excused himself for a while. Can I get a little help in here? In other words, they don't believe in the God that we worship and the God that we serve. They don't believe in the God we trust, the God that supplies all of our needs according to his riches and glory. The name of God does not command the respect as it once did. Some of us remember when the preacher would walk down the road, amen, it could be on the wall, hit 7 and 11, and they'll say, hold the dice, the preacher coming back. Can I get some help in here? But men do not admire nor respect God as they did our forefathers just a few years ago. Listen, when I was a boy, the name of God meant something. When the name of God was mentioned, I stood still. When the lightning was flashing and the thunder was roaring and the rain was falling in torrents upon tin roofs and winds were blowing with an accumulated velocity, we were told that God was at work and we had to go somewhere in some corner of the house and be quiet.
Talk about that, man.
That's not the case today. That's not what's going on in today's time, because people have no fear. Even when storms are raging, they have no fear. For the fear that is just the working of nature, and God is not in it. We were looking this morning, Moderator and I, at the television and looking at floods in Maryland. Floods in Massachusetts. Texas and Houston, out in Texas, getting torrential rains. And God is at work.
Yes, he is.
Yet, there's no fear. But I tell you, back there in Palmetto, Florida, on 316 17th Street, Rural Route 15, I was told that God was in everything. The old folks back in Palmetto saw God in everything. They saw God in the orange grove. They saw God in the strawberry patches. They saw God in the tomato field. But in today's world, the name God has become an omnibus, hollow noun, meaning that the world looks at God as a name only equal to the collection of secularism. It means all the world to some and nothing at all to others. It's a tragedy, I tell you. Grandmama used to say it like this: it's a crying shame. The man owes his very existence to God, yet say that God talk and Jehovah rhetoric is an anachronism or something left over old time or just a relic. And they turn around and arrogantly ask the question, well, where is God? The past and now the current century are filled with great and marvelous achievements. Yet they're also filled with despair. Never before in the history of the world have there been so many bewildered, perplexed, messed up, and despairing people. Everywhere you look, someone is going to pieces, and now that disease that historically had invaded only the Anglo population has now infiltrated the African American population. I'm talking about suicide. Can I get some input here? People going to pieces and committing suicide. Girls sat on the overpass in Tampa and just leaped off into traffic down below. Can I get some input? Everybody falling apart. Never before has there been so much merciless and heartless murder in our streets. Now murder in our schools. Murder in our church houses. Home life to many folk is a literal hell. They rather die than go home. All that some children here at home is cursing and fighting, and all that they see is drinking, drunkenness, drugs, getting high, lust, and fornication. One of the tragedies of this modern society is that our small children, whose minds are susceptible to any kind of teaching, are being taught by infidels, agnostics, atheists, downright non-believers. Some of the people who are teaching our children are the same ones that are asking if there is a God. These are the same people who are asking if God does exist, why is he hiding? These same people are teaching our children. They're saying that there is no God. They ask, why does he keep himself in seclusion? They tell us that we have been brainwashed. But I need to remind some of us at this point of this message that God is a God who cannot be seen with the natural eye. But I woke up this morning. I heard the birds tweeting in the tree. Woke up this morning. Darkness was a few hours ago. The sun was shining bright. Woke up this morning. Trees were still dotting the landscape. A variety of flowers were blooming out there on Innisbrook. Jesus is everywhere. Jesus said that no man can look on God's face and live. But I thank God for the visibility of an invisible God. People who think they want to see him as he is in his absolute holiness really don't want to see him. The human eye can't look at the smallest glimmer of light without being dazzled, even at a tiny candle. You cannot look at the smallest light bulb shining in your house for very long without being affected by its brightness. This thing being true, how do men think they can look upon the face of God, whose holy countenance is brighter than 10,000 suns? Can I get some help in here? He's not a God to be seen with the natural eye, but by the spiritual eye of faith. We accept the fact of the orderliness of the universe and the constancy of its operation without question. And we don't try to get out of it just because we can't explain it. If then we accept the facts of what is without question, why do we want to question the existence and the eternal being of God? I tell you, United, it's absurd to talk about there is no God simply because you can't see him.
Watch yourself.
Let me try to explain something to you here. In the phenomenon of science, you can't see sound, but you keep on listening. You can't see that. Can you help me right there? But you don't stop breathing. You can't see your own strength, but you keep on moving. You can't see sight in your eyes, but you keep on looking. Can I get some help in there? Even though you cannot see what makes you see, you still keep on seeing. You can't see the taste in your tongue, but you keep on eating. And sometimes you eat too much. Can I get some help in there? The atheist says there is no God. But the Bible has already labeled him a fool. The agnostic says that he's not sure there's an eternal God. And that's just downright stupidity. Secularism says that the old God that we talked about might have been all right in his day, but his day is out now. They tell us that he might have been our need filler in the former days, but his days are over now. They say that they are their own need fillers. But the God that I serve is up to date, down to date, before the date, and beyond the date. He dated the dates, and time to time, and the time. And you talking about he's out of date? He's the same God yesterday, today, and forever. You can help me preach it now. You want me to hurry up? You got to help me here. There are those who say that the world has come of age now, and they don't need God as their problem solver. They believe that the answer to the mind problem is at the feet of the psychiatrist. Oh, it's bougie to have your analyst. It's bougie to say you're going to see your shrink. But when they put that little coat on you, and you can't pull it loose and lock you up in a padded cell, I guarantee you're going to call on the name of Jesus. They say that if you're worried, don't worry about going to God that you can't see in prayer, but we have to go to the psychiatrist, because the psychiatrist has all the answers. Dr. Ruth has some answers, but dead now. Could I get some help in here? Sigmund Freud has some answers, but dead now. B.F. Skinner has some answers, but dead now. You got to understand, the only one that has the answer. He that remains yet alive. I noticed that with all the skill, all the earthly wisdom that psychiatrists have in the field. Go back and look at the yearbook from Lincoln Memorial High School in Palmetto. You'll see by my name, I had wanted to be a psychiatrist. Can I get some help in here? That's why I'm analyzing all y'all right now who saying amen. I wish there's some help in here. Psychiatrists have great skill in their field, but there's still people who are frustrated and people who are going to pieces. But though all of this may be true, men are still sarcastically asking, where in the world is God? God is God. Why young boys and girls dying in the street? God is God. Why does Trump have the authority to separate children from their family? God is God. Why is it my brother, my sister, my child, my daddy, my uncle, my mama, amen, my auntie are strung out on drugs? If there is a God. But the seeming contradiction is that there are times when it seems that the wicked have a point. The most convincing facts seem to be on their side. The godless seem to have the most money. Can I get some help in here? You know when they got all that bling bling? Yeah, they wear all that gold and them diamonds, amen. And they got them big rims and big tires and them $1 million paint jobs on a 50-year-old automobile, and they got a dime in their pocket. Can I get some help up in here?
Yeah, man.
They seem to have. They never seem to have to work. They seem to have the most friends. They live in the best houses. They hold the highest office. They run roughshod over the week. They take advantage of the poor. They ride in pomp and splendor. The children seem to never have any wants. Their conscience never seems to bother them. It seems that trouble never knocks at their door. Their lives seem to be lives of ease. They go happy-go-lucky year after year. They never seem to have disappointment. Their hangouts are dens of thieves. Their feet are swift and running into mischief. They stand idle on street corners and shake their fists at rebellion at God. They destroy the youth with no remorse or conscience. They operate nightclubs. They do a booming drug business. They operate skin clubs. They seem to have more than anyone could ever hope for in this life. And they never go to church. Yet, concomitantly, simultaneously, all at the same time. On the other hand, many of the godly are living in poverty. Paul penned these words with trouble on every side. Job said, when I was at ease, trouble came. I heard somebody say that trouble don't have to be troubled to be troubling in your life. You go home, you lock up your house, have someone to board up all the doors and windows. Trouble still got a way of finding you. Maslow said it on this order, that trouble originates from the inside. You got to be careful. You walk around with a time bomb of trouble on the inside because you don't have a relationship with this invisible God. Can I get some help in here? Life sometimes tumble in on the godly without notice. Familiar friends let us down. Sleep breaks from us at the midnight hour. Unkind words are hurled against us for no reason at all. The little good we try to do is spoken of with evilness. The help we try to give is unappreciated. The better we try to live, the more we are falsely accused. Many godly persons are left in the world lonely and alone. Many Christians have not known a well day in years. They sit alone in a lonely rest home without a single person to pay them a visit while they are the burden of the state or the county governments. Life for them is more bitter than wormwood or gold. Can I get some help in here? Y'all ready for me to close? Amen. Y'all scared to see? Amen. I'm ready for me to close. Some Christians have to stand around with bowed heads amidst the wreckage of shattered hopes. For some Christian, tears are their meat in the night seasons. The storms of life rage against them with howling winds of confusion. Can I get some help in here? Temptations gnaw at the very heart of the religion. In spite of their desire to live unblemished. In spite of their desire to live true and holy unto God. We discover that Christians are abused for no just cause. They're hated without provocation. They're labeled as old-fashioned if they don't run with the crowd. Some Christians face crises after crisis. They try to raise their children in the way of right, and yet the wicked poison their minds before they reach their teen years. Can I get some help in here? I believe I see a little closing coming. Can I get some help in here? The question, where in this world is our God? And God, you serve him down through the years. And the question comes up, why? Where is God? Why does he not come to my rescue in the time of trouble? If he loves me like he says he loves me, why has he deserted me when I need him the most? In God, all right, well, they ask about you, is your God? In God, all right, when they laid you off your job, they say, where's your God now? When your husband or your wife abandoned your home, they say, where is your God? When your child got teenage pregnancy, they say, where is your God? And God, all right, well, a little story here on the sidebar. There was a teacher who was an atheist, and God, all right, didn't believe in God. He read one day on the chalkboard. He said, God is nowhere, and he left the room. And God, all right, there was a little boy who was a Christian who went up to the chalkboard. And God, all right, he took this word nowhere. He divided the nowhere into two, and where God is now here. And God, all right, the young boy was just right. United, you ought to feel that God is now here. And God, all right, God is a spirit. He's not just here, he's not just there, but God is everywhere, all at the same time. Can I get a little bit here? Somebody will push me right here. He's omnipresent. Do you really want to know where this world is our God? The answer is that God is where the action is. And God, all right, God is where the angels bow at his feet and cry holy. God is where the sun blazes and where the stars twinkle in a darkened sky. God is where oceans roar and where mad waves leap up above. God is where mountains rest. And God, all right, God is where trees grow and flowers bloom. God is where eagles soar above the clouds. God, I tell you, where the action goes, God is where things are always happening. I tell you, united, God is where babies are being born and little children are playing. God is where the strength and your confidence is. And God, all right, I cut across the brain right here. God is where the bread of the life are living. And God, all right, God is where beauty fades and wrinkles come in. And God, all right, God is where strength begin to go away and weakness step in. And God, all right, anybody Do you love the Lord? God will. God will. United fellowship. Back to the services. I'm looking at you. You got some praise in your hand. You got some joy in your heart. You got some clapping in your hand. And God, because God is in His church. And God is in the church when He's sleeping on the pews, shaking and waking them up. God is in the church when He's going on feel good time. God is blessing the church. God is in the church. God is. Everybody here, you know God is. I got to pray every now before I sit down. I need you to let you know that God is everywhere, all at the same time. One in this world is our God. Look at your neighbor, shake your neighbor's hand, and you got to shake it off and say, neighbor, God is in my heart. God is in my soul. God is in my mind. God is in my thoughts. God is in my life. He is God. I said, He is my everything. Everybody help. You love the Lord. Everybody help. You love my Jesus. Don't you help me close Him. Put your hand together. And say, I love the Lord. He heard my cry. And He heard my every voice. Sing Lord. Sing Lord. God is my everything, my all. God is in His darling Son Jesus, and Jesus died on Calvary. Anybody help? Do you know He died? Anybody help? Do you know